Realm of Gymrotting. For the people unfamiliar with the term, let me expound on what a gym cell is.
Allow me to expound. Let me dig into that a little bit.
The title is very likely gonna be the gym cell mindset. So what is a gym cell? Gym cell is basically a dude who is obsessed with going to the gym and training to get bigger in the pursuit of looking better and also being more attractive to women. Someone who's trying to compensate for his lack of looks, the lack of facial attractiveness by lifting weights. That is what a gym cell is.
They think telling me that they spend their Sundays meal prepping is gonna make me want to date them. That sounds like the least fun activity I could fucking think of. Don't get me wrong, I love working out, love going to the gym, but that's not part of my personality. That's kind of just a normal thing that people do.
Now we gotta be a little careful here because not every gym goer is a gym cell. If you are just going to the gym because you are obese or you are not obsessed, then you are not one. But I will say this too. A lot of people in those circles claim that, oh, I don't do it for women, but they do it to attract women or to feel like they are mugging other men, which is about attracting women once again. They just can't be honest about why they are gym selling. Oh, I am training to be healthy. Yeah, dude, you are putting so much strain on your body and abusing your liver with billions of products, supplements to be healthy, right? Oh, I am training to be physically strong, not for women. That is also a lie. Strong for what, bro? For your oofy-doofy accountant job? You are not a pro, you are not making money off of your muscles. So stop this cop, man. I mean, sure, if you are big, people will think twice before messing with you, but the truth is, a lot of yous aren't gym selling to fend off bullies. You do it for women, no matter how much you claim otherwise. Oh, I am training to feel better. Yeah, dude. That is why you are starving yourself to death. That is why you are using all those products, doing all that tedious stuff. Just to feel better, sure. I mean, I get gym rotters, man, really, I do. I get where they come from. It can be really addictive. I was a gym cell myself, guys. I know firsthand what it feels like. I was a big gym rat myself from age 18 to 24. I'm talking about religiously going to the gym. It was like my church. I was calculating my protein and creatine intake, exercise routines, so I've been there. It is very addictive. And then there are so many guys like Jeff Nippert, all those fitness influencers and grifters running the narrative to fill their pockets. Cause once again, anybody can do it. It is a great grift to hop on. It doesn't require any type of skill, any type of talent or brains. You can fool anybody into believing this. There is money to be made. You have influencers like Jeff Nippert, Think Before You Sleep, you are gonna remember he was delusional to the point of saying gymrotting is good socializing. He thinks it is a great form of socializing. Then you have Hamza, who was selling Convince Your Parents protein powders healthy course to 13, 14 years olds. The result is people trying to lift their way out of loneliness, but only succeeding in trapping themselves in a bigger one.
One of the main reasons that people get into lifting is to attract a partner. But are all those hours in the gym actually worth it? I wanted to find out, so I asked 50,000 people.
Do you think more plates equals more dates?
It can definitely help your odds.
Jeff Nippert, one of the content creators gym cells love and adore, made this coping video. I mean, the dude goes up to women and men at the gym, and asks if it is better to gym rat, if it is better to be strong and muscular. Bro, what do you expect? The typical gym coping argument. I mean, we have seen this over and over again.
Out of everything I analyzed in my survey, the strongest correlation with dating parameters was, oddly enough, bench press strength.
Do you think you'd be even more likely still to go out with a guy if he could bench press 3 plates?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Men who could bench more seem to go on more dates, be more likely to be in a relationship, and just do better romantically overall. But then I started thinking, maybe there's something even more important that I missed. After all, I didn't ask any questions about height or facial masculinity.
Of course he didn't. He's a 5'4" manlet. I'm not gonna ask girls at the gym, what do you think about height? Hi, ladies. How important is height in a relationship? Not gonna do that.
The biggest study I could find was this meta-analysis, which looked at more than 170,000 subjects. It took 6 stereotypically masculine traits.
And then in the second half of his coping video, after the great idea, genius idea of asking people at the gym, shoving a camera in their faces, he brings up studies that are based on self-reported data. I mean, these are the same type of coping videos that keep getting regurgitated. Going up to people and interviewing them with a camera shoved in their faces. Or taking self-reported data, partner count data as a reference. Dude, if I get asked in real life, hey, what is your partner count? Guys, I am not gonna say 0. I will say 50. I will say 100. Likewise, women won't say, oh yeah, I date dudes based on their appearances. I am shallow like that. Nobody's gonna say that. But do the studies controlling for stated versus revealed, actual preferences, do they say the same? Does the data coming from the dating apps say the same?
Researchers compared jerks to so-called nice guys. Only 7% of women picked the jerk. Even when the researchers made the jerk more handsome, he still lost 85% of the time.
Jeff Nippert is in a mental state where he believes he's gonna get honest responses when you go up to women and ask them if they would rather date a nice guy or a jerk. Or even when they put Jeremy Meeks' picture, women still said the nice guy. Bro, does the evidence confirm their answer? That man Meeks, women pulled him out of prison. Some criminal gangbanger, scum of the earth, beat a child to near death, drug trafficking. Women pulled him out of prison. Meanwhile, the nice guy who jaywalked, ran a red light 10 years ago are still rotting in prison. Any study that bases its conclusion on what women have to say under the Hawthorne effect can be thrown in the trash. I mean, it was such a ridiculous video, even other gym coppers in their space called them out. Birds of a feather flock together, right? But even other birds in the same flock called them out.
And so next on Jeff Nippert, I'm getting limb lengthening surgery because I've discovered that women actually care about height. Way more than I thought. I thought it was just about personality. Jeff, you're a rich multimillionaire with 3+, 4+, 5+ million followers. Jeff, you're a famous multimillionaire. It don't matter if you're tall. You be 4'4" and get girls.
I am not a regular viewer of Greg Doucette. I watched 1 or 2 videos of him. He was roasting Hamza. He was talking about how gym results come down to your genetics. I mean, it seemed like he's higher IQ and more realistic than the remaining gym cell coppers in that space. Guys, I truly believe that a lot of those gym YouTubers, successful gym influencers or manosphere channels actually agree with the BP a lot more than they let on. Now, if you are Greg, Coach Greg, who makes your living by making videos for gym rats and selling protein and cope powder, it is not even a protein powder, it is cope powder. You can't be talking about genetic determinism. But I truly believe that this guy, Greg, he understands a lot more than he lets on. Same with Dr. K. Both Dr. K and Greg's, they agree with the BP a lot more than they let on. And Greg is right here. The only point I will add is this. Yes, Jeff could get women, even if he was 4'4", but there is not a genuine way of getting girls. So I wouldn't even say getting, but buying. He would be hiring girls. Cause that's what it would be, in principle. Like a lot of men who get women with their influence, money and status need to understand this. At the end of the day, bro, you are not much different than some guy getting some quick action in his car from some crackhead streetwalker. You are not. In principle, you guys are the same. He tried to overcompensate for his short height by getting big. I mean, in case of Jeff, it worked out because it made him rich, it made him famous. But if he wasn't a YouTuber, if Jeff wasn't a famous YouTuber, gym selling actually would have decreased, would have lowered his SMV because he's short. When you are short and you gym max, you gym rot, it is gonna make you look stocky, more stocky. Gym rotting and overly big muscles have very little return on investment, even if you are not short. But in case of Jeff, it is even worse, actually. Brutal stuff, bro, cause he looks even shorter than he is. He already is. 5 training mistakes everyone makes when they start lifting, brother. Like, you don't look better, you look worse. The picture on the left is pretty close to the ideal, as far as male body aesthetics is concerned. Like, I am not including height, of course, but muscle definition-wise, it is pretty close to the ideal. Maybe a little bit more definition and a little bit more size would have been better, but he looks much better on the left. The one on the right will only attract other gym rotters. I don't even think it is good for your health in the long run, trying to keep that physique in the right. It will take a toll on your body.
I'm going to say height. Watch Jeff's video and see. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Do I need Jeff to present this in a video? Height, very important. If you go to the bar and you're 6'4", you're getting noticed. When you're Coach Greg and nobody sees you, this is what girls see when I'm at the bar. They see my hairline. That's it. They're so tall. But if you're 6'4", even if you're fat, at least you're getting noticed. You see him. You can see the head walking through the bar. Coach Greg walks through the bar. You don't even see me. I'm covered up behind that fat guy. And so they at least get noticed.
Yo, this is brutal, bro. Coach Greg is shoving the BPs down his oofy-doofy gym-cell viewers' throats. Imagine being his follower, being his viewer. You open the video, you think it is gonna hype you up before your gym selling session. And then you get hit by the BP. Everybody has a plan until the BP punches them in the face. But this is brutal, bro. You think you are gonna watch some Coach Greg video and then hit the gym to pump some iron, and then you see this. Your own coach shoving the BPs down your throat. Brutal, man. And guys, pay attention to what he said. He didn't say a tall lifter will have better options with women than a short lifter. He said, it is better to be a fat slob but tall than a manlet gym coping rat. This is a brutal BP for his viewers. And that is the truth for most people. You cannot compensate for your lack of natural attractiveness by gym rotting, by gym selling. You cannot. The life doesn't work like that. A 6'4", 6'5" slob, coach potato will pull more than you. More than some 5'8" gym rat. Single digit body fat, cuts and veins and all that stuff. That is the brutality of the situation here. And his oofy-doofy double-digit IQ viewers are still coping in the comments. Oh, pills have never been more red. Brother, you wouldn't know a BP if it slapped you in the face. What your coach here said is literally the opposite of the red pill. It is the genetic determinist aspect of lookism he's talking about. You can't hit the gym and grow taller. These coping gym rats are taking the BP up the ass. But they can't even realize it. Guys, trust and believe, these gym rotters see it, face it every day, day in, day out, but they are still coping. Even when their own coach literally spells it out himself. It is better to be tall, but a fat slob, than a short, ripped, muscled dude. And these very intelligent viewers of him are still like, oh, dude, this is such a red pill.
I was just saying I love a tall boy.
Oh.
But I'm married to a shorty, but I do love a tall boy.
I mean, when y'all divorced, we can, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
How much I connect right now? I can get your number right now. You from here. Why not?
Because I'm actually married.
Yeah, but you don't love him like that if you want to say you want to be
I
like
just
a tall
love a
man.
tall boy. When I saw you, I was like, I
What
love
makes
a
you love a tall man? Your husband, wife?
Baby.
See, that's what you fucked
Very
up at.
square.
That's what you fucked up at.
Out of these 6 physical traits, which do you think was most strongly linked to mating success?
Height!
It was actually strength and muscularity.
And so if you're rich, like Jeff Nippert or perhaps Coach Greg or Mike Israetel, you're going to get some girls. It's all about the money.
Correction, small correction, buy. You will buy, hire some woman. Maybe a bit more noble than some dude who goes to a brothel to hire some girls for $50. A bit more classy, a bit more noble, but it is the same thing in principle at the end of the day. But he is not completely 100% wrong here. You will have women pretending to like you, to get with you, to use your resources. So he's not completely off here.
I mean, what else is left? Personality? Oh, it's the personality that counts. Really? When you go to the bar, do you think the girl's looking at you across the room thinking, that guy over there, oh, I can tell he's got great personality. Yeah, because he's hot and 6'4". Remember, there's correlation between personality and looks. They studied people. They said, rank these people based on how nice a person you think they are. And the hotter they were, the nicer they thought they were. And so niceness is equal to hotness. It's equal.
Your Coach Greg is straight feeding BPs to his audience. Him admitting that slob, overweight, tall guys will pull more than short bodybuilders is a brutal, devastating BP for his own gym selling viewers. How can they even cope after this?
In other words, these 6 things that everyone fixates on don't account for 95% of what goes into romantic success.
Anyone believe that? Or do you think it's mostly looks and height and then money and personality?
He's close enough. Or maybe this is as much as he can admit on camera without losing significant following. So he's worried about his back. I think he's smart enough to know that money will only be a fake attraction. Some people legitimately believe that because of solipsism, like I said. I have mentioned that all cops stem from 4 sources. Solipsism is one of them. When you are as rich and successful as Nipperts, you start to believe that, oh, I am that guy, I am superior. But women don't judge superiority the way men do. Because of his egoism, he thinks that women who are interested in him because of his money genuinely like him. And you can see this type of coping from Coach Greg as well. Oh, height and money. Why? Because he has got money. Someone like Coach Greg, even if he's not married or doesn't have any children, he will have options because of his money and influence. Like, in his own experience among 50-year-old dating market, it is about height and money. So he doesn't understand the impact of face thoroughly. He's close, he's so close but underrated face because his own reality is different. So yeah, for all the women, height and money combined is a bigger pull. And Coach Greg knows that he can't attract women in their prime. He might cope and say, oh well, I don't go for them anyway, I don't want them anyway, but I don't believe that. I think people, both men and women, know deep down that most guys would prefer 18, 19-year-old women. It is just most men, most oofy doofies, the vast majority of men cannot have their pick. That is why women get so offended at DiCaprio. Every single time they see an older dude who has the means date some 19-year-old, they get reminded of this fact. The fact that men with options choose 19, 20-year-old women over them. They rage for this reason. Their illusion shatters. They can't stand the idea that even their pitiful oofy doofy doesn't really love them like that. If that oofy doofy could date some 19-year-old woman, he would do so.
You practice good hygiene, take care of your teeth, you find a hairstyle that works for your face, and you dress with a style that fits your body shape. But even more important, believe it or not, is being a good person.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He's simping right now. He's telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. Not the fact that they're nice, the fact that they're rich, handsome, good looking, and have a good bench press.
Notice how he sneaks in a good bench press at the end. Guys, you cannot be a halfway crook. You can't expect complete honesty from guys like Coach Greg, because his entire living is dependent on coping himself believing in his lies. So of course he has to slip in and bench press at the end. But he knows for a fact that bench press means piss off, and it will only attract other gym rats. So he has to say bench press, but it is all about your face, your height, your background, the whole eternity of looks.
Obviously, I'm not saying that the physical stuff doesn't matter. It does. But the physical stuff that matters the most is probably more within your control than you realize. Like, just working out seems to help.
Yeah, and so if you want real advice from a real guy who's done this for 30 years in the trenches, I'm telling you, you need to look good.
Case in point. Exactly my point. Started coping. Can't be a halfway crook. You can't expect full truth from guys like Coach Greg, cause his livelihood depends on gym coping. It isn't in his interest to keep it real. So started shilling his cope powder. Oh, you need to look good. Buy this cope powder from me to look good. All that rhetoric stopped. Oh bro, it is all about height. Fat slob will pull more than 5'8" gym rat. All that rhetoric stopped. It is all about money for these fitness influencers. At the end of the day, Greg Doucette and Jeff Nipperts are the birds of the same feather. Understand that.
This study surveyed heterosexual, bisexual, and homosexual men and women. In all cases, intelligence and kindness were ranked as being more important than physical attractiveness.
I love how Jeff just reads studies and thinks it's true in the real world.
Coach Greg was low-key cooking Jeff with that video. I will say this though, you can't ignore every study blindly. This take is only true for studies that don't control for stated versus actual preference, the subject behavior when they think they are not being observed. If you go up to women and ask them, you can throw that study in the trash, really. But you cannot do this for every study.
As far as I can tell, being a kind person and not taking yourself too seriously is probably your quickest way to becoming a more attractive person.
I would argue the quickest way is to go to the gym.
No, the quickest way ain't going to the gym, but getting a much needed plastic surgery. Gym, you will need at least a couple months to have a visible difference, and even then it will be a very marginal difference in your SMV. Honestly, he was doing a lot better in the first half of his video. He was shoving the BP down his oofy doofy double-digit IQ viewers' throats. Now he started coping to shill for his products. Expected. Cause at the end of the day, like I said, birds of the same feather. Being muscled, hitting the gym benefit you? Yes, but by a very small margin. Its impact is nowhere near as big as gym cells make it out to be. But to conclude this video, guys, you can't expect the full truth from fitness influencers. Of course they are gonna push that gym cell mindset on you. It is a job for them. Doesn't matter if it is Jeff Nippert or someone more intelligent sounding like Coach Greg. They are the same in principle. Cause no such thing as a halfway crook. Don't be a free agent in life.